Alright, so today we're going to be talking about how I can use equivalent fractions to look for relationships. We're looking for relationships with our denominators. So if I have the fraction 3/4 and I want to compare that to 7/8, I can see there's a relationship. I know that 4 times 2 equals 8. So I'm going to use an area model to compare these fractions. So my fourths, those are going to have, that's a smaller denominator. It has bigger pieces. That's what I'm going to start with, is my fourths. So I'm going to make my fourths. And I have 3 of those. So I'm going to shade in 3 of my fourths. Now I'm going to show where those equivalent fractions are. I'm going to make my equivalent lines here. They need to be equivalent. That's the key. And now I'm going to turn my fourths into eighths. Because I know 4 times 2 is 8, I can split these in half because of that 2. And it will give me 8 pieces. Now I have 7/8, so I'm going to shade 7 of those pieces. And I can see, here's my 3/4. Here's that line for 3/4. I can see 7/8 is greater, so I'm going to say 3/4 is less than 7/8. All right. Now I'm going to look at one. I'll give you time to catch up. I'm going to look at one that's a little different. This one I just had to split them in half. It was times 2. So it's kind of easy. Now I'm going to look at, what if I have something like 2/3 and I want to compare that to, say, 7/12. So neither of these have common denominators or common numerators, and they're both a little bit bigger than 1/2. So I have 3 and I have 12. So I know 3 times 4 equals 12. So they have a relationship. It's not as simple as this relationship. It's not just going to be splitting them in half because it's not times 2, but it has a relationship. I'm going to have to split them into fourths. Might be similar, yep. So I have my 2/3 right there. Again, I make my equivalent lines. And because I'm multiplying by 4, each box has to have 4 pieces. 4, 8, 12. So I'm going to split each little piece into even smaller pieces, into fourths now. And I can shade 7. Now I have 4, 8, 12 pieces. I have my 12ths. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7/12. So here's my equivalent line for 2/3. So 2/3 is greater than 7/12.